To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep, we say that we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that the flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, to sleep. Perchance to dream. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of the spy's love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit takes when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than to fly to others we know not of. Thus, conscience doth make cowards of us all, and the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with a pale cast of thought. And enterprises with great pitch and moment in this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action.
Changing lives through literature. The power of literature transforms you. Visit our website at cltl.umsd.edu and read our blog at cltlblog.wordpress.com. Our blog is currently accepting articles and personal essays.
You know, all literature is about a journey, whether it's be physical or spiritual or both. And so it's really about our own personal journeys that we make. And that's what I try to stress when I talk about literature, that even in the case of Hamlet, he's going through a spiritual journey here in which he's trying to reconcile his own views with the world. And I try to have them relate it on that level so that it's not just about reading a story, it's about living a story and understanding what it's trying to tell us. Selling Shakespeare is not as hard as it seems. I have a theater company, the Rhode Island Shakespeare Company, and we go out in public every summer, and we'll be doing it more in the off seasons too, and we're trying to get to the people who don't ordinarily read Shakespeare and try to tell them that it's accessible because it tells simple stories about people, and that's the reason why Shakespeare has been so popular throughout the years. The poetry is fantastic, and we love that, but we also love the people, and we love the truths that Shakespeare teaches us. And so that's really, it's really easy when you approach it in that way. You say, let's not worry so much about the complex words here. Let's worry about what is this telling us about ourselves. There's been no character in literature that's been written about as much as Hamlet. And he has a huge fascination with us. And part of it is people are trying to figure out where exactly he's coming from. Who is this man? Why does he think the thoughts that he does? And a lot of people say, that he's an indecisive person. But Hamlet is more than that. Yes, he's indecisive. But Hamlet's a very moral person, raised in what he thought was a moral society, and he sees the society crumbling before him. The questions he's asking are metaphysical questions we ask ourselves all the time. They had a tremendous amount of import in Shakespeare's day, but they still ring true for us today. What's the nature of life and death? What really is morality? What's truth? And what isn't true? In the to be or not to be speech, he's not just talking about killing himself or not killing himself, like some people say he is. He's talking about real metaphysical reality. What happens after we die? Is there a heaven? Are we just existing on this planet and pretending to be moral out of fear of what happens if we're not moral, instead of actually being good moral creatures? These are questions Hamlet asks, the play asks, and the character asks throughout the play. And so when I talk to a student about this, or even when I'm talking to you folks about this, I say it's very simple. Life is very simple. And Hamlet is trying to take what is a complex world and make it more simple for himself. I think what we're doing here is excellent, and I think we need to see more of it, because literature has to really become accessible to us in many levels. We owe it to PBS, we owe it to projects like this, we owe it to cable access. Any way that we can get literature discussed, any way that we can make it more accessible to people. Really, what separates us from other creatures is not just our sentient reality, but also our ability to discuss ideas and character. And that's what literature helps us do.